Let's go. Welcome, everybody. We are trying something different here. We're hopefully going to succeed in having a simulcast on the J-Spy 25 channel and on the Chris Connolly, Mr. C Diving In channel. So I'm Chris Connolly. I'm Mr. C. I'm the person who's talking right now. J-Spy, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm J-Spy 25. That's not really, but
for the purposes of the show and the channel and the recording, that's how we're doing it.
Yep.
Okay, so our subject matter today, we recently, well, let me go back a little bit first. We found each other through the Fanboy Cantina channel, and thanks to Fanboy G for setting up his channel. And then also was set up was the Casual Crafter YouTube channel, and you and Casual Crafter had dealings because of your eBay listings of Mego compatible accessories and products. We're going to come to a main highlight in just a minute here. So recently, on one of the recent posts I did on my channel, somebody was like, hey, where did that Monster Lab stuff come from? I said, hey, that's J-Spy, and take a look. He's just two comments down in the comment section. So all that being said, our first meetup related to your 3D printer creations. Give us a quick recap, sir.
That was when we met at the Mars Cheese Castle, right?
The Mars Cheese Castle,
which looks a lot better than it used to.
Yeah. It had a great facelift.
Yeah, and then we traded. I don't think we traded that though. It was the Mego Monster accessories and the laboratory table.
And those are not far, but I'm not going to jump out of the chair right now to pull them in.
Yeah. And it was a short but good visit.
And then we were setting up for a second meetup to do the whole full-on Monster Lab. And as things came to evolve, we saw the Volo Auto, or now it's not just the Volo Auto Museum anymore, it's the Volo Museum, because they've expanded in their categories of exhibition and exhibit.
Yeah.
And then we started like this, hey, Sven's going to be there. Instead of doing Mars Cheese Castle Part 2, should we try to get a Sven signature on your actual product? So that is going to be the highlight of our episode today, is the day we met Sven at the Volo Auto, the Volo Museum.
Yeah.
All right, your initial impressions. Now, we did speak about this already a little bit on, I'm pretty sure it was on Fanboy Cantina, but when you're having 4 channels that are closely related, it's important to try to keep track of these things. Your initial impressions upon your arrival at the Volo Museum.
I was expecting like 1, maybe 2 buildings, and it would all be in one, enclosed inside stuff. And I was just like, this is like an amusement park, and you're like, okay, I guess I park here, and lucked out on parking, and then, try to follow the signs. And then it's, you go in, get your ticket. And then, I asked where Sven was going to be, or is, or was. And they're just like, just go through here and down there, and then go to building 2, go through building 2, and then go into building 3. Just follow the signs, be no problem. Well, I got detoured and ended up in World War II display. And I'm like, this isn't right. And then came back and then
over here.
What's that?
I don't see the man in the hat over here amongst the World War II.
Yeah, right. And then when I exited building 2, I was at the end of the line, which went all the way down and then wrapped around the corner. I'm like, holy cow. There's a lot of people there. Yeah. And then I'm like, Chris, all right, I'll see you in like 4 hours. And
right, then we fast forward a little bit and we figured out a way to put everything together.
Yeah.
So another person that was there was someone who we have yet to meet. And let me say, J-Spy, this is somebody who, the more I email, it's Terror Dave. The more I email with Terror Dave, the more, you and Terror Dave have a lot in common. Both a good quality of humility, both you want to let the work speak for itself. So anyway, we didn't realize at the time, as we were going through the photo line, we knew there was a Volo official person taking pictures of us and everyone else as they would meet up with Sven. But we didn't realize at the time it was Terror Dave also taking our picture. So once I learned that, then, you know, I did what I do, and I got in the emails with Terror Dave. I'm like, hey, can we speak on Sven? And I've been having great email conversation with Terror Dave. So he addresses himself, he bills himself as a fan. He's also a blogger, and in a second, we're going to take a look at his blog. But he's got a great, well, here, let's show, instead of just saying, let's look at and start out. And then after we look at the Terror Dave material itself, as we share screen, we'll come back to looking at the Volo pictures and our own picture. Oh, let me not jump ahead. Okay, so right, so the terrordaves.com is his blog site, and he you know, it's got a great history of Svengoolie and other horror material. He knows some of the same people we've dealt with, as you can see in the back. When you know, I have the Monsterologist patches. Terror Dave has interviewed Monsterologist. Terror Dave has met with Dr. Gangrene, a different geographic area horror host. But anyway, so Terror Dave is a real cool guy. And as we were saying, we wished we had taken a picture of the blanket that these other fans put together. So that's one of the highlights right there. I mean, as we were trying to describe it before, so Jay Spy, go ahead. As we're looking at this blanket right here, revisit what was impressive to you about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, the size, and that somebody took the time to, you know, one stitch at a time, do that entire thing. It was crazy. But like you were saying, I'm glad there's a picture of it, because we were trying to explain to people, and they're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but it was pretty impressive.
Right. It takes time to put together 3D printed work. It takes time to collect a bunch of different historical pictures of Sven or any other subject matter and try to assemble them together in an audience friendly kind of a way. But the time, the specific way these people invested their time, and look at the quality product right there. I refer to myself and Fanboy G, and maybe all of us, as amateur hobbyists or hobbyist amateurs, but that is a pro quality. And of course, your 3D printer stuff is absolutely pro quality, but it's not your day job. But that is a pro quality knit that they have there.
Yeah.
So
nice.
again, here's some more backstory on you know, Terror Dave's day. And as we're seeing, right, to visually support the point we're speaking of, those are some long lines, and there's a lot of Sven fans out there, which is just, it's exciting to me to participate in a community of like-minded people or people that have a similar interest. Let's keep scrolling down a bit. All right, let's go to the top image first. What do you have to say about Nutcracker Sven?
Those were the people right behind us, and
Exactly.
and yeah, they painted up that Nutcracker like Sven, but it was missing one thing, wasn't it?
It was originally, and again, by fate, if you will, or happenstance or good fortune, we're there in the line with them. And they're like, if only we had a small Archie McPhee. I don't know if they used the terms Archie McPhee, but the rubber chicken. And again, where do I have Sven? Let me take the crows. I like to keep the crows or the ravens on top, because that replicates the museum exhibit at Museum of Broadcast Communication. But right, those same rubber chickens are available at archiemcphee.com or various local shops. I know right close to me, we have the American Science and Surplus store, and relatively close to you is another outlet of American Science and Surplus. So again, to be in line, it reminded me of being in high school or college, and you're in line for a concert or other kind of event, and the people near you in line are really cool people too, and you get to have a cool conversation with them.
Yeah, they were pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Now, as we scroll a little bit down, these other individuals are, well, it's you and Sven and me and the box, which I have right here. So again, just talk a little bit, as we previously spoke on Fanboy Cantina channel. Tell us about the box a little bit, and the
Yeah.
carve out spot you put in the box.
Yeah, so the plan was to have the to have Svengoolie sign the back of the larger piece. And but like two of them are attached, so it would be cumbersome to take them out of a box. So then I thought, well, it'd be nice to have them, you know, in a box, so we're not just carrying those around. But then to have them, you know, set down the box, take the stuff out, and have them sign it would be cumbersome. So I figured if, you know, we could keep those in place and just cut a hole in the back so he could sign it. But then as I'm doing that, I'm like, well, that looks kind of plain because it's just a box. So then I started drawing. I just did some Sharpie art in the on the inside of the box, so you know, it looks more appropriate, I guess.
And again, you skillfully and quickly put that together. And I'm pretty sure I said this on Fanboy Cantina channel. It reminded me of work that Rich Coase would do himself, because he had painted not the current coffin, but the retired coffin, which is on display both through internet searches, image searches, but the actual physical item is at the Museum of Broadcast Communication in Chicago, which is again, same room and right across from the Bozo exhibit. So again, Bozo is probably more content for a different day, and just here. So again, this top one was more of a close-up. And again, I wish I realized at the time that it was Terror Dave taking our picture, but again, cool that as we continue our journey, we're picking up more, you know, as we're headed towards the Oz and you know, we're on the yellow brick road of sorts, and we're picking up more cool people along the way. So again, there we have the figure toy company Sven right there on your 3D printed and your designed Monster Lab table along with the rest. The other image here we have is the Svenmobile as crafted by Casual Crafter.
Yeah.
Jay Spy, your comments on Crafter's craft work on the Svenmobile.
Yeah, I mean, this is when I kind of first heard of you guys. You know, it's through Crafter, and he said he was making his car for Fanboy Cantina. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And
we don't know what we're talking about.
Like,
But it all fits together.
Yeah, he's like, do you watch them? I'm like, I mean, there's like how many 50 million or more channels out there? I'm like, no, I don't know who they are. And then so he had contacted you guys somehow or something or other, and decided to make you this car. And I remember talking about it before he told you guys about it, because I don't know, was it done before he told you about it?
No, well, it's about 8 or 9 months ago. I just rewatched his video on the Casual Crafter channel, and somehow if you're on either the J Spy 25 or on the Chris Connolly channel and you don't know Casual Crafter, or you haven't liked or subbed to Casual Crafter, please do that. But you can look up this very episode. So to more directly answer your question, I cannot remember, but what I do remember is that Crafter was showing up in our comment section, and then that's how the conversation started. And I said, man, wouldn't it be cool if, and so for the Sven action figure, right, there was one release where he's wearing his own merch, own mini Svengoolie t-shirt, which parenthetically, let me say, is also referential of the Durwood, one of the original mascot dummy sidekicks, wearing a t-shirt that had a Svengoolie image on it. So Crafter, you know, took the idea of, as I was, you know, it would be so cool, besides having the coffin set, if there was an actual Svengoolie mobile that replicates either image that they have on the show, the one on the road segment where they have an animated introduction that Sven's bouncing out of on the road of a moving hearse, and the other image that they show was during COVID time when he was broadcasting from the Sven cave, the equivalent of the Bat Cave. Then right in the back parked would have like a Tombstone's skull face for the hood ornament. See, again, hood ornaments, that's going to be relevant, you know, when we come back around and dive more into the Volo exhibits. So yeah, and then Crafter, like, again, look at that fine work that Crafter did there. That is really, really good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other stuff. This guy, a different kind of artist than you, but to have the Universal monsters in the top hat of Sven, really great. again, if only we picked up his contact information too to chase him down. Again, a classic, Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, a great image to have. Now this guy, again, I guess he has two entries, right? The shield, and then per Terror Dave's comments here, this is a 3D printed
Yeah.
Boris Karloff from the original Mummy, pretty sure it's 1932. So 3D printer to 3D printer person, what do you think about how it looks, and can you speculate on his design process?
I don't know how he designed that. I don't design like too much organic stuff. So, if you look at my stuff, I mean, there's some, I'll try to fit some of that stuff in there where appropriate. But a lot of it's hard goods. So, but this, like the wrinkles in the robe and the face sculpture, of course, and the hands and everything, all that crazy detail. I don't know. I have no idea where that, if somebody sculpted that or if somebody, scanned that, but that would have to be a pretty high quality scan.
But
Too, so.
in short, this is a really good rendition.
Oh, yeah.
However,
Yeah,
he did the
absolutely.
magic trick. The trick landed well with the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. And let's scroll a bit more down. Again, there's the blanket in a couple of shots, and
And
much
you-
respect to these people. Go ahead.
That I was just saying how, there's a better shot of how big you can see how,
Yeah.
how big
Yeah,
it
to
is.
scale.
Yeah.
To scale. Really good. Again, Terror Dave in his commentary, and please do check out the terrordave.com. We're not literally reading each, but right here in the caption. So we know there were a lot of people, and Sven Rich Coes made the choice to stay in overtime, like double overtime, if you will. There's double secret probations in the world, and there's double overtimes. So our guy made it through to spend many hours of his day there to make sure everybody that came got to sign. Again, the cosplay, see why this picture is great. So there's Jim, the producer, the executive producer of the show, and there's a fan in a chicken suit. And there you have a little kid. See, that's a big part of the appeal, is you got a multi-generational thing. You hit this interesting cross section. You got some cosplayers or people doing some creative stuff. And now here, look at that young face, looking eager to have a little chat with Sven. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So again, fans of all ages, but let me not forget, and there's the spawn of Svengoolie business. Now here we go. This one we were both surprised and intrigued by. J-Spy, walk us through what
Well, yeah, this lady and her dog were, because the line started twisting, when it got up to Svengoolie, or actually when it came indoors. And that lady was probably, I don't know, at least 45 minutes or an hour behind us, right?
I would say.
But we could see her because the line was twisting. And yeah, that was cool. She had the baby carriage, kind of done up and the goth looking thing. And she had a Svengoolie shirt on her dog. And I think, I don't know if it's in here. Somebody said they had to let the dog out for her. I don't know if that was Terror Dave or somebody else, but
Yeah, I can't.
yeah. And I was kind of wondering about that. I'm like, I wonder if that thing's going to last that long, But-
Right, maybe she got some supplies within that carriage there, but on radio shows you can get caller of the show, other things, but this is a hardcore fan with a serious level of creativity, so that's really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Again, just to give brief excerpts of what Terror Dave's text is here under the picture. He's saying they were having a conversation about the mascots, and again, same as back I guess 9 months ago now, when on Fanboy Cantina we did the tribute episode to Rich Coes right around his birthday. We're thinking the same things, and having this, like, between the mascots, like when is the right time to utilize Kerwin, or like, it's so funny to me of Tombstone versus Kerwin, or when does Durwood get brought out, and Zelda, one of the other original mascots. So it's just kind of cool that I take comfort that I'm not the only person thinking these thoughts or wondering about the mascots and the interaction between the mascots. All right, and again, one more shot of the blanket. So now let's do a quick stop share and a quick reshare and let's jump into our own photos and the Volo photos. So from what you can see, are we good? We're on our own stuff now? All
Yeah,
right. All right. So again, here's our, we'll figure out how to get the logos the same size next time around or sometime. But for this shot, I just wanted to show, right, like it was a beautiful sunny morning. And the last time I was at Volo prior to this time, there wasn't a bat signal just like this. So the fact that they have a bat signal, again, really, really cool. J-Spy, take it away. What are we looking?
that's Sven's intro, or it's his walk up to his table, which was cool that he took the long way to get there, to pass the line of fans and stuff, so people could get a better look at him instead of just sneaking in the back or something. So yeah, he was just walking out with a couple people and waving.
Now, again, amateur hobbyist, but just by happenstance, if you look in the foreground of this shot, there's somebody else with the image of Sven in their camera. And behind Sven, what was definitely important for me to see, and I don't think I'm stepping too boldly to say it was important for you, of all the movie cars and all the high-end cars also, Munster's vehicles are, you got your Batmobiles, you got your James Bond mobiles, you got all that's to speak on more at a different time. But the two Munsters cars are one of them's the Dragula
and then that one's the Coach.
The Coach.
Yeah.
Right. So again, to see, I can't remember, was it replica or the actual thing, but looks really cool.
Yeah, it's probably replica, but it looked really, really good. I don't know, maybe it's I don't know. I don't know, but it did look good.
All right, and again, here's, as we can see with the official Volo photos there. Again, want to put the brakes on sometimes and not get too over engrossed. But the guy in the front foreground here with that, they're not calling it a Hawaiian shirt, they're calling it a button-down shirt. Right now, there's unlimited. I kind of wish I would have got it when it was still in inventory, but hey, I got to talk about it because I've been hesitating, and then when I saw the actual shirt, like this guy says, for him, it's a good shirt for him to have. He likes the shirt that he picked up. So that's cool. And again, there's the same stuff in the entryway for Sven. Again, our own pics of a little bit more up close on the Nutcracker. And look at that. That's a great paint job. I mean, the same way that Casual Crafter hits all the marks on having a neatness and an accuracy.
Well, the idea itself is cool. That's not like an everyday, I don't know, maybe some people look at things and say, I could make a Nutcracker out of that. But, I thought it was a pretty cool idea.
Right. And I would love to see before and afters on this, right? There's many, many Nutcrackers and many, many stores, but to see this exact one before the paint job and to see it here like this, that's, that could have been a World Market kind of a thing. It could have been Michael's or any other number of a great number of possibilities of places where it came from. All right, let me scroll down a bit more. Oh, look, there's us on the official Volo photos. There were Sven doing Sven, sitting around, doing the pictures, making the quick, let's give credit to, that's gotta be, if you're doing that for hours and on end, you're probably getting some repeat on the questions, but you want to be polite, and Sven's always polite and all great on his hospitality. But I'm saying that there's a specific skill set to mastering the quick, sincere, don't rush the people, but be efficient in time. So also a credit to Sven for having cultivated that skill set over time.
Yeah, he's got his picture pose down. I was watching him, before and after, and it's like, okay, now it's picture time. So he picks up the rubber chicken, and he knows what, but that's good. He knows what to do when it's picture time instead of like reaching for something or looking away. Obviously he's been doing this for a long time, so I'm sure he's got that figured out. But yeah, you could just to see it work,
Well practiced, keeps in training, his muscle memory is solid and strong to assume rubber chicken position.
Right, you see the head's pointing up, not down, so he knows what he's doing.
Excellent. And you know, that was, again, I would, well, this is something for you to speak on more than me, right? I'm right there trying to juggle the crafter car and trying to juggle the quote unquote, the bibliography of other shows and things that are tributes to Sven that have been meaningful to me. But like, I was like flattered on your behalf, if you will, that like, that was cool that Sven had positive comments on your 3D printer work.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't know what his reaction was gonna be like, well, first of all, like you were saying too, he's really nice and, but efficient, so he'll ask questions and stuff but he was pretty interested in that. And then, like when we were showing that to him, his assistant came over and said, "Hey, why don't you post that on the Svengoolie website?"
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then Sven was like, actually, why don't you email that to me?
Yeah.
It's like, well, he just kind of took it up a level, and I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. So he must have liked it.
Right. Simple pleasures are just a cool moment in our day that day. Definitely agree. And as Tara Dave notes in the blog, Sven's a busy guy. There's a lot of mail and stuff, physical mail, email coming around. So yeah, we never want to turn into John Belushi in the old skit, The Thing That Wouldn't Leave, which is definitely a dated far back, about the same time that Sven was starting out. That's about how old that reference is.
Yeah.
But, so hey, it was just it's cool to have the interaction we had. And then there's the close up on the signature. And again, credit to Sven for navigating. Again, your build is your build. The power boxes were the power boxes, but with the different with the little bump right there, he managed to. A master of time, a master of quick conversation, and a master of the Sharpie, as well as the positioning of the rubber chicken.
Yeah, and that surface isn't like totally smooth. It's not like glass or anything.
Right.
So he had the ridges to deal with, the minor. But you could tell it would probably try to guide his marker a little bit. So he did a good job.
And just under his signature, we see you put your logo on the piece, JSpy 25. So again, that authenticate. Don't well, some of the other stuff on eBay you see is just from my take, not your same level of quality. So again, we'll come back another time to go more into the museum itself, and that's just a quick little spoiler or teaser, if you will. Let me go to stop share. Okay. I was just saying the way I was dressing today, again, trying to laugh at myself a little bit. So I was trying to do like a variation, and I wanted to again represent Horror House with their t-shirt with Coffee the Coffin, who's a great character. And again, quick reference for Horror House is a really good spot for me to go check out and hang out, and for people who are in the Chicago area who are looking at Sven related or horror related merchandise. Hey, Amazon's great, online shopping is great, but brick and mortar can still be pretty great too. So there's that. And then I was trying to do the Hawaiian shirt like I was doing some kind of variation on regular Sven. And so I had on, I'm in the car before I get out of the car that morning. I'm like, okay, let me put on my fake mustache. And I did the one of them for the mustache and the other one I split to do the Sven goatee. But by the time we got up to Sven in the line, I'm not saying I was sweating buckets, but I had sweated enough to not have the mustache on in the pictures we just saw. So
I think it looked pretty good though. I wish it would have stayed on.
Yeah, well, maybe, we'll come back for another day. And again, I had the Horror House hat, and I had my
Does Horror House sell coffee?
Oh, it's funny that you had mentioned. Let me just, I had my Halloween costume from a couple of years ago, my Sven wig right inside the hat. Excellent that you're saying that. And again, our other pal MIB, yeah, Horror House, this Boris Karloff coffee.
That's great.
Again, if people are if this appears too much of a shill thing, then please just fast forward or what have you. But this for a dark roast coffee, this is the best coffee I've had in my life. Boris Karloff coffee. Whether you get it from Horror House or somewhere else, and please don't, disparage Horror House in any kind of a way. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay, that answers that, because I was wondering why it'd be Coffee the Coffin. You know,
I wonder if they, okay, let me get back with them now. So did you guys do that intentionally to be selling coffee and have Coffee the Coffin as your mascot of the store? Man, see, again, as I've said before, J Spy sees things, comprehends things, and manages things in a way that are beyond me very often. But
and misses a whole bunch of other things.
all right, so again, we're trying something different here where we're going to put the same episode on both channels, and hopefully that works out just great. Again, please do tune into, if it's of interest to you, Fanboy Cantina, as well as Casual Crafters channel. J Spy, any closing comments for us?
No, that was really fun. I'm glad that lined up really good as far as, you know, the timing of the lab set and the Svengoolie visit and the Volo Auto Show. I mean, perfect place to have it, you know, because there's so many other things to do there as well. Yeah, it was a good time.
Agree. And if you're looking at my channel, my most recent publications have been Jada Universal Monsters and Mego 50th anniversary on the J Spy channel, J Spy 25 on YouTube, not on eBay. The most recent stuff has been very, very high caliber Planet of the Apes related content for Mego product. Thanks everybody for tuning in to J Spy 25 channel, for tuning into Chris Connolly with the Diver Helmet channel. Thanks so much, and we will catch you guys next time.